You're listening to ZRB 1720 AM, broadcasting from the 15th floor of the Holden Building in downtown Ashgrove. The time is 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. My name is Daniel Reyes, and I am your host for the overnight desk, as I have been every weeknight for the last 9 years. Tonight's temperature is 52 degrees, light rain expected before dawn. The traffic desk reports one stored vehicle on the eastbound Meridian Expressway right lane near exit 12. Emergency crews are on scene. No injuries reported. I want to keep it quiet tonight. That's the request I've been getting from listeners this week. Quiet music, quiet voices. Something to keep you company on the long drive or the long shift or the long hour before sleep finally arrives. So that's what we're going to do. Before we get into the first block, a small housekeeping note. The station received a brief power fluctuation about 20 minutes ago. Nothing unusual for this building. The engineers say we're stable now. If you hear any pops or dropouts in the next hour or so, that's just us settling back in. Nothing to worry about. I do want to acknowledge something small, and then we'll move on. Dispatch has been running a little louder than usual on the scanner tonight. That's the background sound some of you may hear behind me. It happens sometimes on cold nights when calls stack up. I'll keep an ear on it, and if anything meaningful comes through, I'll pass it along. For now, though, take a breath with me. Settle in. You're not alone tonight. You're listening to ZRB 1720. And we are live. Our first caller of the evening is on line 2. Good evening. You're on ZRB. What's on your mind tonight? There's a pause. I can hear her breathing. Older woman from the sound of it. The line has that hollow quality that tells me she's calling from a landline, which by itself is a small miracle in this decade. Daniel, she says, are you seeing this on Fremont Street? I tell her honestly, no, I'm not. I'm 15 floors up, and my window faces east. Fremont is on the west side of the building. I ask her what she's looking at. She doesn't answer right away. When she does, her voice is thin. There's a lot of people out, just standing, in the rain. I try to make it small for her. I say, well, it's Tuesday night. It's not raining hard yet. Sometimes people leave the bars a little early. Maybe there's a game letting out. Maybe a fire alarm somewhere pulled a building into the street. No, she says. They're not talking. They're just standing, and they're all facing the same way. I ask her which way. East, she says, toward the water. I let a beat pass. I tell her I appreciate her calling. I tell her sometimes when we watch a crowd long enough, patterns appear that aren't really there. That's a real thing. It's called pareidolia, sort of. The brain wants a story. Daniel, she says, I've lived on this street for 41 years. I know what a crowd looks like. This isn't a crowd. I ask her what it is then. She's quiet for a long moment. And then she says, I think it's everyone. The line goes dead, not hung up, dead. That flat, empty tone. That means something cut on her side, not mine. We'll go to music for a moment. Stay with me. We're back. That was Rosemary from the neighborhood we call the Slopes. And if any of our listeners over there want to check on their block and call in, I would appreciate it. Nothing serious. Just curious minds keeping each other company. I want to be transparent with you. The dispatch scanner behind me has gotten louder in the last 10 minutes, not quieter. I'm going to turn it up just enough for you to hear, because I think a few of you have been asking in the chat what that hiss is. Here, you can hear that? That layered chatter. 3 or 4 voices talking over each other. That's units calling in. Normally on a Tuesday night I'd hear maybe 1 call every 4 or 5 minutes. Right now I'm counting 11 active channels. I'm not going to speculate. I'll want to be careful. Scanner traffic sounds dramatic when you're not used to it. Most of what you're hearing is probably routine. Wellness checks, noise complaints, a fender bender near the causeway. But I did catch one phrase twice from 2 different units, and I want to share it with you because you're going to hear it too if you keep listening. The phrase was non-responsive but ambulatory. I'm not a medic, I'm a radio host. But I've been sitting in this chair long enough. to know what most codes mean, and I have never heard that particular combination before. Non-responsive means the person isn't answering, isn't reacting, isn't there? In the way we usually mean. Ambulatory means walking. You put those two words together and it doesn't quite make sense. I want to be clear. I'm not telling you the sky is falling. I'm telling you what I'm hearing because that's my job and because I think honesty is the only thing worth broadcasting. Let's take another call. Line 4, you're on ZRB. Where are you tonight? The caller doesn't speak. I can hear breathing, slow, wet, patient breathing. I wait. I say hello again. Nothing. We're going to move on. Line 4 just hung up on their own. Or the call dropped. Either way, if that was you, feel free to try back when you're ready. I want to do something a little different for the next 20 minutes. I'm going to leave the scanner audible in the background at a low level, and I'm going to keep talking over it the way I usually would, and if anything meaningful comes through, we'll address it together in real time. You should know that I've also just received a message from my producer Marco, who is downstairs in the lobby. He was picking up a coffee from the all-night place across the street. He says the street is quiet, but the coffee place is locked, and there's a note taped to the inside of the glass. He couldn't read it from the sidewalk. He's coming back up. That's normal, by the way. Places lock early sometimes, staff shortages, nothing to read into. While we wait for Marco, let's talk about the weather one more time, because a listener asked me to repeat the forecast. Light rain expected before dawn, winds from the northeast, 5 to 10. Tomorrow's high, 61. It's going to be a soft, grey day, the kind of day you want to sleep through if you can. I'm going to be honest with you. My hands are a little cold. The heating in this building always cuts out around midnight and takes a while to come back. It's fine. I'm just noting it. Here's Marco now. He's out of breath. He's waving at me through the studio glass. He's holding the note from the coffee shop door. Give me 1 second. Okay, the note says, in someone's handwriting, all capital letters, do not open the door for anyone you recognize. We'll be right back. We're back on ZRB 1720. It's now 12:14 a.m. I want to walk you through the note calmly because I think there's a reasonable explanation and I want to give it the space to breathe before we jump to anything else. The note is on a piece of receipt paper folded twice, taped from the inside of the coffee shop door with clear packing tape. The handwriting is neat. It looks like it was written slowly, deliberately, not in a panic. It uses a black marker, the kind they use for the specials board. There are 3 possibilities that I can think of, and I'm going to say them out loud so you can hear my thought process. 1. It's a prank. Someone on the closing shift thought it would be funny.
This happens. Overnight retail workers have strange senses of humour. I've done overnight radio for 9 years. I understand. 2. It's related to a specific person, maybe an ex, maybe a stalker, maybe a family member the staff is trying to protect a co-worker from. The wording, anyone you recognise, would be strange in that case, but people write things badly when they're scared. 3, it's connected to whatever Rosemary was seeing on Fremont Street, and whatever the dispatch scanner has been picking up, and whatever caused that silent breathing on line 4. I don't want to lean on option 3, because option 3 is the kind of thing that makes a radio host sound irresponsible, and I take this microphone seriously. So I'm going to sit with options 1 and 2 for now. Marco is telling me something. Hold on. He says the elevator is out. He came up the stairs. He says he passed the 7th floor landing and heard someone standing on the other side of the stairwell door. Not walking, not talking, just standing. He could hear them breathing through the door. He kept climbing. I want to remind everyone that the Holden building has a working security desk on the ground floor, and after 10 p.m. you need a key card to access the stairwells. So whoever Marco heard is either a tenant, a cleaner, or someone with a key. There is nothing in that fact that should alarm anyone. I'm going to take another call. Line 1, you're on ZRB. Please tell me your name and where you are and what you're seeing. My name is Aaron, the caller says. I'm on the Marin Street Bridge in my car. His voice is steady, but there's a tremor underneath it. I can tell he's been sitting with something for a while before he called. I ask him what he's looking at. Traffic stopped, he says. Both directions has been for maybe 20 minutes. Nobody's honking. That's the weird part. Nobody's honking. I ask him if he can see the cause of the stoppage. There's a woman, he says. About 4 cars up, she got out of her car maybe 10 minutes ago and started walking. She walked past my window. She didn't look at me. She was walking toward the east end of the bridge. I ask him where she is now. Off the bridge, he says. Down at the waterline, just standing with the others. I ask him how many others. He's quiet for a moment. I can see maybe 80 from here, but the shoreline curves, there could be more. I ask him if they're doing anything. They're facing the water, he says. All of them, same direction. They're not talking, they're not moving. It looks like they're waiting for something. I ask him if there's anything on the water, a boat, a light, anything. No, he says. That's the thing, there's nothing there. It's just black. I tell him to lock his doors. I tell him to keep his engine on. I tell him if traffic starts moving even a little, take any exit he can and get off the bridge. Don't go home if home is east. Go west. Go inland. He says, Daniel, my daughter is east. She's at her mother's. I have to go get her. I don't have a good answer for that. I tell him I understand. I tell him to be careful. I tell him to call back if he can at any point and let us know he's okay. I will, he says, and then quieter. The woman in the car in front of me just got out. The line goes dead. Not hung up. Dead. Same flat tone as Rosemary. I want to say something to the room right now, to everyone listening. If you are near the eastern waterline of Ashgrove, please do not go outside. Please do not approach any crowd. Please stay where you are, lock your doors, and if you have a working landline, keep it clear. We'll be right back. I'm bringing the scanner up. You need to hear this. I'm going to keep talking over it. But I want the raw feed under my voice, because I think we're past the point where I should be filtering it. Listen, you hear that voice? The one repeating the same phrase over and over. That's a unit designator, Unit 41. They're calling their location and asking for backup. They've been calling for the last 6 minutes. Nobody's answering them. There's another voice further down the channel that keeps saying, hold your position. Do not engage. That's a sergeant's voice. I know that voice from years of city council meetings. His name is Ellis. He's a good man. And there's a third voice, and I don't know who it is. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't want to know who it is, because it doesn't sound like a person giving a report. It sounds like a person trying to describe something they don't have words for. I heard the words, they don't fall, twice. I heard the words, she was my partner, once. I'm going to lower the scanner again. Not because I'm hiding anything, because I don't think it's helping any of us to hear it in that state. I want to check in with you. If you are listening to me right now, I need you to do a few things. First, fill anything in your home that holds water. Sink, bathtub, pots, bottles. Water pressure is one of the first things to fail when a city has a bad night. Second, charge your phone. If you have a battery pack, charge that too. If you have a car in a garage, and it's safe to do so, start the engine for a few minutes and top off the battery through your charger. Third, find a radio that runs on batteries. If you're listening to me through your phone or through a smart speaker, please locate a physical radio if you have one. 17:20 AM. We are on backup power and we will stay on backup power as long as we can. Fourth, do not open your door. I don't care who is on the other side. I don't care what they sound like. I don't care if they sound like someone you love. Look through a window. Look through a peephole. If you cannot verify with your own eyes that they are who they say they are, and that they are alone, and that they are behaving normally, do not open the door. I know how that sounds. I'm asking you to trust me anyway. Marco has just come back into the booth. He's white as a sheet. I'm going to let Marco speak. He's not a broadcaster. He runs the board. He hates being on mic, but he needs to tell you what he saw, and I need him to say it, so I know I'm not the only one who heard it.
Marco, take your time. I went back down to the lobby, Marco says. His voice is thin, but he's holding it together. I wanted to see if the security guard was okay. His name is Ben. He works Tuesdays. Was he okay? Ben wasn't at the desk. His chair was pushed back. His coffee was still steaming. His radio was on the floor, screen cracked. Did you find him? I found him. He was standing at the front doors, facing out, not moving. I said his name. I said it 3 times. He didn't turn around. Did you touch him? No. I got about 6 feet away, and I stopped because I could see his reflection in the glass. His face. Daniel. His face was wrong. Wrong how? Marco pauses. He's trying to find the right word. He doesn't want to say something dramatic. He's a technician. He wants to be precise. His mouth was open, Marco says. Too wide, not screaming wide, just hanging open, like the muscles that hold your jaw up had stopped working. And his eyes were open, but they weren't tracking. They were just aimed. Aimed at what? At me, but not at me, at where I was going to be, like he was watching a place, not a person. I don't know what to say to that on the air. I've never had to, so I just say, thank you, Marco. Thank you for coming back up here. Marco nods. He sits down at the board. He starts checking levels, because that's what he does when he doesn't know what else to do. I want you to hear this next part clearly. Ben, the security guard downstairs, is between us and the only exit from this building that doesn't require a key card. That means Marco cannot leave without walking past him. Neither can I. Neither can anyone else in this building. We are not evacuating. We are staying live. That is the decision we are making right now together in this booth. You're listening to ZRB 172. Oh, we just received an incoming call on the direct emergency line. That's a line that bypasses the switchboard. It rings straight into the booth. It has only rung twice in the 9 years I've worked here. Once during a chemical spill in the industrial corridor. Once during a tornado warning that turned out to be a mistake. It's ringing now. I'm picking up. This is Daniel Reyes at ZRB 172. Oh, go ahead. The voice on the other end is Mayor Halloran. I recognize her immediately. She's on speakerphone. There are other voices in the background, but they're too far from the phone to make out. Daniel, she says, I need you to stay on the air. Whatever happens, I need you to keep the signal live. I tell her we intend to. There's been an incident at the eastern waterfront, she says. She is speaking carefully. Every word is chosen. We do not yet have a clear picture. What I can tell you is that we are asking all residents east of Kellner Avenue to shelter in place immediately. Do not attempt to travel. Do not attempt to reach loved ones by car. The bridges are compromised. I ask her what she means by compromised. There is a long silence. Then she says, they are being crossed. I don't understand that answer. I ask her to clarify. She says, Daniel, please just tell people to stay inside. Please tell them not to look out the windows if they can help it. Please tell them the sound they are hearing is not what they think it is. I ask her what sound. You'll know it when it starts, she says. You'll want to open a door or window to see what it is. You have to promise me you'll tell people not to. I promise her. One more thing, she says. Her voice cracks just for a second, and then steadies. If you lose contact with the outside, the emergency broadcast frequency has been overridden. Do not switch off your own signal to relay it. Your signal is one of the last. The last what? She doesn't answer. The line clicks off. Marco is looking at me. I'm looking at Marco. I turn back to the microphone. I say, in the calmest voice I can find, everyone east of Kellner Avenue, please stay inside. It's now 1:03 a.m. I want to describe what I'm hearing, because I promised the mayor I would tell you what it is before you try to find out on your own. There is a sound coming from the east. It started about 6 minutes ago. It is low. It is steady. It is not a siren. It is not a horn. It is not any mechanical thing I can identify. The closest thing I can compare it to is the sound a very large crowd makes when they are all humming the same note without meaning to, not singing, humming, underneath their breath, thousands of people, all producing the same low pitch without knowing they are doing it. That's what it sounds like from 15 floors up, through a closed window, over a city. I want to stress that I am not describing this to frighten you. I am describing this so that when you hear it through your own walls, you will already know what it is, and you will not go to your window to look. Do not go to your window to look. If you are listening to this in a car and you are still driving, please pull over into a garage, a covered lot, or the shadow of a building. Turn your engine off. Turn your headlights off. Keep this station on. If you are listening to this at home, please move away from any window that faces east. Sit on the floor if you have to. Close interior doors between yourself and the exterior walls of your home. The sound has not gotten louder in the last 2 minutes. That's the update. It has not gotten louder. It has stayed exactly where it was, but it is closer. I don't know how to explain that. It hasn't gotten louder, but it has gotten closer.
And that doesn't make sense as a sentence, I know that. I'm saying it anyway because it's true. Marco is checking the studio windows. He's pulling the blinds, all of them. Everyone on every wall. He's using the cord to pull them shut, without standing in front of the glass. The sound is closer now, still not louder. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep this signal live. I'm going to keep giving you updates. I want you to know that if my voice cuts out for a second, it doesn't mean anything is wrong with me. It means I am pausing to listen.
That is all it means. The switchboard is lighting up every line. I've never seen it like this. I'm going to take them in the order they came in. If your call is picked up and there's silence, please speak first. I'm not going to ask twice tonight. Line 1, you're on ZRB. I'm on Grover Street. There are people in my yard. They came out of the trees. There are maybe 12 of them. They're facing my house. My husband wants to go outside with the shotgun. I told him no. I told him to sit down. Keep him sitting down. Do not go outside. Do not turn on any exterior lights. Turn off any interior lights that can be seen from outside. Move to an interior room. Take your phone. Do not call anyone you love and ask them to come get you. Do you understand me? Yes. Line 2. You're on ZRB. I work at Mercy General. We're on lockdown. The East Wing has been evacuated to the West Wing. There are patients we couldn't move. Ventilator patients. We had to close the fire doors. Are you safe? For now, there's something in the East Wing. It's not one thing. It's many things. They walked in through the emergency entrance. Security tried. Security is gone. Stay where you are. Barricade if you can. Do not open the fire doors for any reason, including voices you recognize. Line 3, you're on ZRB. Daniel, it's Rosemary. I called earlier. Rosemary, I'm so glad to hear your voice. They're inside my building now. I can hear them in the hallway. They're not knocking. They're just standing. I think they're waiting for me to open the door. Do not open the door. Rosemary, listen to me. Do not open the door. Not for anyone, not for anything, even if it sounds like someone you know. Daniel, it sounds like my son. Rosemary, your son is not on the other side of that door. I know. Please, stay on the line with me. I will. Daniel, I'm going to put the phone down on the table so I can move the bookshelf against the door. I'll pick it back up. Okay, take your time. I can hear her moving. I can hear the scrape of wood on wood. I can hear her breathing hard. I can hear a knock. Not urgent, patient. Once, twice, 3 times. I can hear her son's voice muffled through her door, through her phone, into my studio. He is saying, "Mom, let me in. It's cold." I can hear Rosemary crying out. I can hear her whisper, "You're not him. You're not him. You're not him." We're going to hold this line open. While we hold Rosemary's line, I want to try to piece something together for you, because I think you deserve to understand what I'm seeing from this chair. Every caller in the last hour has described the same 3 things. 1. The affected people are standing still, facing a specific direction before they begin to move. 2. When they move toward buildings that contain other people. Not empty buildings, not commercial buildings, homes, hospitals, places where warm, living, familiar bodies are waiting. 3. They know things they shouldn't know. They know which door is yours. They know the voice of the person you would open the door for. They know the name you would answer to at 3 in the morning. I don't know how they know these things. I have theories. None of them are comforting. I'm going to keep them to myself because it is not my job tonight to speculate. It is my job to describe. Here is what I can describe with certainty. The affected are not attacking with weapons. They are not breaking down doors. They are, based on every call I have received, waiting to be let in. That is the pattern. They wait. They speak with familiar voices. They wait some more. They do not force entry. That means the single most important thing you can do tonight, the single act that determines whether you see the sunrise, is very simple. Do not open the door. I'm going to repeat that because I want it to be the last thing you hear if my signal cuts out. Do not open the door. Not for your husband, not for your wife, not for your mother, not for your child, not for the neighbor you've known for 20 years, not for the police officer with a badge, not for the paramedic in uniform, not for a voice that begs, not for a voice that cries, not for a voice that says it's cold or hurt or scared or dying. If they are truly the person you love and they are truly on the other side of that door and they are truly in trouble, they will understand tomorrow. Tomorrow you can grieve. Tomorrow you can apologize. Tomorrow you can hate yourself for what you didn't do. Tonight, do not open the door. Marco is holding up a sign. The building's front door alarm just went off. That means the lobby door was opened from the inside. That means Ben, the security guard, opened it. That means the ground floor of the Holden building is no longer secure. We are on the 15th floor. The stairwell doors on this floor require a key card. Marco has his, I have mine. The studio itself is behind 2 more doors, both locked. We are safe for now. Rosemary is still on line 3. She has stopped crying. She is humming. I don't know if that's her or something else. Something is happening to our signal. I want to be transparent about this. Marco is at the board. He's running diagnostics. Our transmitter is fine. Our tower is fine. Our power is stable. The engineering side of this broadcast is functioning exactly as it should. And yet, there is another voice bleeding into 1720 AM. Not stepping on our frequency, not overriding. Bleeding. It's underneath my voice at a low level, and it's saying something I can't quite make out. Marco has it isolated on the monitor, and he's raising the level slowly. I want you to hear it briefly, and then I want to talk about it. Here it comes. That's the voice. It's soft, it's rhythmic. It's not any language I recognize. It has the cadence of counting, slow, patient counting, as if something is going through a list. Marco is bringing the level back down. Thank you, Marco. I want to tell you what I think that is, and I want to be careful about it. I do not think that is a person. I do not think that is a broadcast. I think that is the sound the humming from outside makes when it passes through electronics. I think our transmitter is picking it up the way a filling in your tooth sometimes picks up AM radio. It doesn't need a source. It's just present in the air, in the wires, in everything that carries signal. If that's true, and I stress that I am guessing, then the humming is not sound in the traditional sense. It is something that can travel through metal and glass and concrete and air with equal ease, which means closing your windows won't stop it, which means the reason the mayor told me not to look outside was not because looking outside would let the sound in. It was because looking outside would let something out. I don't know what I mean by that. I'm saying it because it's the shape of the thought that just arrived in my head, and I trust my instincts more than I trust my reasoning tonight. Rosemary is still on the line. She's still humming. I'm going to try her name. Rosemary, can you hear me? Rosemary, squeeze the phone if you can hear me. Nothing. I'm going to leave her line open, but I'm going to stop addressing her directly. I don't want to teach the humming what my voice sounds like when it's talking to a specific person by name. That's another thing I just realized. I believe. I don't have time to examine it. We're moving on. Line 7, you're on ZRB. Are you the man on the radio? The voice is a child's. Small, careful, not scared exactly. Focused. I am. I'm Daniel. What's your name? Elena, I'm 9. My mom said if anything ever happened that I should call this number. She wrote it on the fridge. Elena, where is your mom right now? She's in the bathroom. She locked the door. She's been in there a long time. She told me not to come in. She told me to sit in the closet with the phone. Are you in the closet right now? Yes, I have the door mostly closed. I have my dog with me. His name is Biscuit. Good. That's very good. Elena, I need you to stay in that closet. Do not come out for anything. Do you have water in there with you? I have a juice box. I have 2 juice boxes. Perfect. That's perfect. Elena, is there anyone else in your apartment? Anyone knocking on the door? She's quiet for a moment. There's someone at the front door. They've been there for a while. They keep saying they're my dad. But my dad is at work. He works nights. He's at the hospital. He's a nurse. Elena, listen to me very carefully. That is not your dad on the other side of the door. Your dad is at the hospital, even if the voice sounds exactly like him. Even if it uses your nickname. Even if it knows things only your dad would know. Do you understand? Yes. Do not open the door. Do not answer the voice. Do not even let it know you're home. Sit very quietly with Biscuit. Keep the phone with you. Okay. I'm going to stay on the line with you, Elena. I'm going to keep talking on the radio, but you can hear me the whole time. If anything changes, you tell me. Anything at all. Daniel? Yes. Biscuit is growling, not at the door, at the window. Are the blinds closed? Yes. Keep them closed. Hold Biscuit. Don't let him bark. Cover his mouth gently with your hand, not tight. Just enough that he knows to be quiet. Okay, Daniel, there's something on the window. On the outside I can see the shadow through the blinds. It's not a person shape. Elena, what shape is it? She's quiet for a long time, and then she says in that small, focused voice, it's a lot of shapes, stuck together. The power just went out across most of the eastern half of Ashgrove. I know this because our monitoring feeds from the traffic camera network went dark in a wave east to west. Over about 90 seconds, I watched it happen on Marco's screen. Whole grids of little green camera icons turning grey. The waterfront first, then the east side, then Midtown, then the University District. Then it stopped at Kellner Avenue, exactly where the mayor drew the line. We are still on air because this building runs on independent backup generators. Diesel, rooftop, enough fuel for about 18 hours if we conserve. Marco is turning off every non-essential system in the studio. Overhead lights, guest monitors, the coffee machine. He's working by the light of 2 desk lamps and the glow of the transmitter meters. I want to speak now to the people who are in the dark. If you are in your home and your power has just gone out, do not use candles. I know that's the instinct. Don't. Candles cast shadows that move against the walls, and moving shadows will draw attention from outside, and we do not yet know what is capable of drawing attention from outside. If you have a flashlight, keep it pointed at the floor. Cup your hand around the beam. Use it only when necessary. If you have a battery radio, this is what it's for. Tune to 1720 AM. That's us. We will stay with you. If your phone still has signal, use it sparingly. Text. Don't call. The cell towers in the affected area will be overwhelmed in the next few minutes. Voice calls are the first thing to fail. Text messages are queued and can be delivered later, even hours later, when the network catches up. Do not text anyone in the affected area to ask if they're okay. If they're hiding, their phone lighting up is a risk to them. If you must reach out, send one message silently. Mute your phone. That's it. That's the best gift you can give them right now. I'm getting reports on our newswire, which is still functional. that the National Guard has been mobilized to positions on the western edge of the city. They are not entering, they are containing. I want to be careful with that word. Containing does not mean rescuing. Containing means the border is being held from the outside. That's not a criticism, it's information. You deserve information. If you are inside the containment line and you are listening to me, you need to understand something. Help is not coming tonight. Help may not come tomorrow. The people in charge of this response are right now making decisions about how much of Ashgrove they can afford to write off. That is the ugly truth. That is what containment means. But you are not without options. You have this signal, you have your walls, you have the fact that whatever is out there needs your permission to come in. Do not give it your permission. Elena, are you still with me? I'm here. Good. Very good. How's Biscuit?
He stopped growling. He's shaking. That's okay. That's a normal thing for a dog to do. He's being brave with you. Is the shape still on the window? No, it went away when the lights went out. Okay. That's actually useful information, Elena. Thank you for telling me. Is the person still at your front door? She pauses. There's more than one now. How many? I don't know. They're all saying different things. One of them is saying, she's my mum, but my mum is in the bathroom. I can still hear her breathing through the wall. Elena? Can you still hear your mum breathing? Yes, it's slow, but it's there. That's your mum, that's the real one. As long as you can hear her breathing on the other side of that wall, she is with you. Do you understand? Yes. I want you to do something for me, Elena. I want you to take your juice box and I want you to drink a little bit of it, not all of it. Just a few sips. You need to keep your body working. Can you do that? Yes. Good. While she drinks, I want to address everyone else on this frequency. Elena is doing exactly the right thing. She is small. She is 9 years old. She is in a closet in the dark with a dog and a juice box. And she is doing better than most adults would in her situation because she is listening and she is following instructions and she is not letting fear make her decisions for her. If Elena can do this, you can do this. Elena, are you still there? Yes, Daniel. My mum stopped breathing. Elena, wait, listen carefully. Sometimes people breathe very quietly. Sometimes we can't hear them through walls even when they're fine. It doesn't mean anything by itself. No. She was breathing and then she said, oh, really quiet. And then she stopped and then she said something else, but it wasn't her voice. Elena. What did the voice say? It said, Elena, come out of the closet. I have your juice. Elena. Do not answer, do not move, do not open the closet door, hold Biscuit. Cover your own mouth if you have to, do not make a sound. I can hear her breathing through the phone, small, fast breaths. I can hear something else too, a knock, not on the front door, closer. On the closet door, rhythmic, patient, 3 times. We're going to hold this line. I need to tell you what's happening in our own building. Marco has been monitoring the security feed on his phone through a private app the building manager set up years ago. Most of the cameras have gone dark, but the ones in the stairwells are still transmitting because they run on a separate power loop. He just showed me the feed for the 7th floor stairwell. There are people on the landing. I can't tell you how many. The image is grainy and there's not much light, but there are shapes, and the shapes are still, and they are facing up toward us. They have not started climbing. That's the important thing. They are waiting, which fits everything else we've been told tonight. They wait. The question is what they're waiting for, and I have a theory about that, and I want to share it with you because I think it might save your life. I think they're waiting for us to make a sound they can locate. Consider, they knew Rosemary's son's voice. They knew Elena's mother's voice. They knew the specific familiar voice that would make each person open the door. That means they are gathering information somehow. They are learning us. Every time I speak on this microphone, I am giving them a sample. Every time a caller says my name, they are teaching whatever this is what Daniel Reyes sounds like. And once it knows, it can wear my voice. That means if you are listening to me right now, and later tonight you hear my voice through your door, or your phone, or your radio when the station has gone silent, you have to assume it is not me. The real me, if I survive this, will not come to your door. The real me will stay in this booth until this ends. If you hear my voice asking to be let in, asking for shelter, asking for help, it is not me. It is something wearing me. I need you to promise yourself that right now. I'm going to keep broadcasting. That's the trade. My voice is the price of this signal, and this signal is the price of whatever safety I can offer you. I accept that trade. I chose it when I picked up the mayor's call, and I choose it again now. Marco just showed me another camera, 12th floor stairwell, empty, then the 8th floor stairwell, also empty, but the door is open. It shouldn't be. It requires a key card from the inside to open it. Somebody used a key card, which means either someone with a key card let something into the stairwell, or something in the stairwell learned how to use a key card, or something in the stairwell is wearing someone with a key card. I'm going to stop speculating. Marco is locking the studio's outer door, then the inner door, then the sound lock. 3 doors between us and the hall. That will have to be enough.
Rosemary's line just changed. The humming stopped, which sounds like good news. It isn't. The humming stopped, and then there was a long silence, and then I heard the bookshelf move. Not fall, not crash. Move. Slowly, deliberately, as if being slid back to its original position by someone taking their time. Then I heard a door open, then I heard a door close, then I heard footsteps in Rosemary's apartment. Not one set, several, walking calmly as if they belonged there, as if they were coming home. And then I heard Rosemary's voice.
She said, "Daniel, are you still there?" I did not answer. I do not think that is Rosemary. I want to be honest with you. It sounds exactly like her. Every inflection, every small crack. It sounds like the woman who called me at the top of the hour and told me about the crowd on Fremont Street. It sounds like the grandmother she was 2 hours ago. But she did not use the phrase we established. Earlier tonight, before her line went strange, Rosemary told me she would say sunset if she was okay, and sundown if she wasn't. I made a note of it, and I didn't mention it on air because I didn't want to teach anything listening. The voice on her line did not say sunset. It did not say sundown. It said my name. I am hanging up on Rosemary's line. I want to say goodbye to Rosemary first, not to the thing on her line, to Rosemary, wherever she is, in whatever form she is in now. Rosemary. You called me first tonight. You told me what you saw when nobody else would. You warned me. You warned all of us. If we get through this, if any of us get through this, it will be partly because of you. Thank you. I'm disconnecting the line. Line 3 is now closed. I have not disconnected Elena. She is still with us. She has not spoken in 4 minutes. I can still hear Biscuit's breathing. The knock on her closet door has not repeated. We wait. Something just happened that I have to tell you about immediately because it changes everything. Our monitor speaker, the one that plays back our own broadcast so we can hear what we're putting out, just played my voice saying a sentence I did not say. I want to be clear. Marco confirmed this. He was watching the meters and my microphone was live, but I was not speaking. I was drinking water. And a sentence came through the monitor in my voice at broadcast level. The sentence was, "I'm coming down to let everyone in." I did not say that. I would not say that. I have spent the last hour telling every listener in this city not to open a single door, and I would not undo that on my own signal. But somewhere, right now, out in the dark, in a home tuned to 1720 AM, somebody just heard my voice tell them I was coming to let them in, and they may have believed it, and they may have opened their door. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to reach the person who heard it. and tell them it was a lie. I don't have a bigger signal than the one I have. I don't have a louder voice than the one that just betrayed me. All I can do is say it now and hope some of you are listening and hope you tell your neighbors and hope the message spreads faster than the imitation. I will not tell you I am coming to let you in. I will not tell you help is on the way. I will not tell you it is safe to open your door. If you hear my voice say any of those things, it is not me. The real me has one message tonight, and it does not change. Do not open the door. I want to try something. I want to establish a phrase the way I did with Rosemary, and I want to say it now, on air, one time, so all of you have it. The phrase is, the porch light is off. If you ever hear me say those words, in any context, at any volume, in any tone, it means the transmission you're hearing is the real one. If you hear my voice and I do not say those words within the sentence, assume the voice is not mine. I know this is a lot to remember. I know you're scared. I know your battery is dying. Just try to hold on to that one phrase. The porch light is off. I'm going to say it a few times over the next hour, embedded in normal sentences, so you can hear how it sounds in my voice. That way you'll know. That way, when the imitation tries, it will fail, because it doesn't know the phrase yet. At least, I don't think it does. Marco is looking at me. He's shaking his head slowly. He doesn't like this plan. I don't like this plan either. It's the only one I have. We just lost water pressure. The sink in the studio kitchen sputtered and went dry about 2 minutes ago. Marco checked. There's nothing coming through the pipes. The building's rooftop cistern must have drained or been cut off from the main supply. This is not a mystery. This is what happens when a city's infrastructure loses its people. Pumping stations don't run themselves. Water treatment plants require staff. When the staff stops showing up, the water stops moving. It's happening across Ashgrove right now, block by block. If you have not filled your bathtub yet, and you still have any trickle from a tap, fill it now. Fill everything. Pots, bottles, the kettle. Anything that holds. This is your last chance. The porch light is off. Marco just pointed at the emergency broadcast override light on the console. It's blinking. That means the federal EBS is trying to push a message onto our frequency. Normally we would let it through. Normally that's the law. The mayor told me not to. I'm holding the override. My hand is on the switch that would let the federal signal replace mine. I am not flipping it. If the emergency broadcast has been compromised, and I have every reason from the mayor's own voice to believe it has, then flipping this switch would replace my voice with something else, something that would sound official, something that would give instructions, something that would tell you to open your door and step outside and walk toward the sound. I am not going to let that happen. Not on 172. Oh, not tonight. The override light is blinking faster now. Whoever or whatever is trying to push through is trying harder. Marco is disconnecting the physical relay. He's using a screwdriver. He's cutting the wire. Done. The override light is dark. We are now, as far as I can tell, the only voice on the AM band in this city that has not been replaced. That is not a boast. That is a burden. If I go quiet, this frequency goes dark, and dark is worse than silence, because dark leaves room for the wrong voice to fill it. So I am not going quiet. The porch light is off. Elena is still with us. She just whispered that Biscuit is asleep. She's petting him. She's okay. She's the bravest person on this frequency tonight, and she doesn't know it. I want to keep her voice on the air, but I don't want to teach anything her name in her voice. She and I have an agreement now. 2 clicks means she's okay. 1 click means she's not. I just heard 2 clicks. We continue. There is walking on the ceiling, not footsteps in the room above. This studio is on the 15th floor, and the 16th floor is mechanical, and the 17th is the roof. There is no one who should be above us. There is walking on the ceiling. Marco heard it too. He looked up before I did. He's pointing at the acoustic tiles. They're vibrating very slightly,
in a rhythm that matches the sound. The rhythm is not human. Human walking has a specific cadence, left, right, a slight roll from heel to toe, a small delay between each step as the body's weight shifts. I have listened to a lot of people walk over a lot of studio microphones over 9 years. I know what walking sounds like. This is not that. This is more like something dragging itself in a repeating pattern, something with too many contact points, something that is trying to imitate walking without quite understanding what walking is. Elena, 2 clicks if you're still with us. 2 clicks, good. I want to tell you what I'm going to do because I think you deserve to know. I am not going to leave this booth. I'm going to keep broadcasting until my throat gives out, or the generator gives out, or the tower gives out, or something comes through those 3 doors and stops me, whichever comes first. The porch light is off. Marco is going to stay with me. He didn't say so out loud. He just sat down in his chair and put his headphones on and started monitoring levels the way he always does when the show is running long. That's his answer. That's my answer too. If you are listening to me and you are outside the containment line in the western half of Ashgrove, or in the suburbs, or in another city entirely, please do this one thing for me. Write down the phrase, "The porch light is off." Write it on paper. Tell the people around you, tell them why. Tell them that if they hear my voice, or any voice, tonight, without that phrase inside the sentence, they should not trust it. The message has to survive the messenger. That's how signals work. That's how any of this works. The walking above us just stopped, directly overhead. There is now something standing on the ceiling above my chair. I am going to keep talking. It's 4:56 a.m. There is a thin grey line at the edge of the sky. I can see it because Marco just cracked one of the blinds, very carefully, from the side, without standing in front of the glass. He said I needed to see it. He was right. Dawn is coming. I don't know if that matters. I don't know if the sun does anything to whatever this is. I have no reason to believe it does. Nothing in tonight's pattern suggests that light is a defense. The affected walked in daylight and darkness with equal patience. But there is something about a grey line at the edge of the sky after a night like this one that is worth telling you about. The sound from the east has changed. It's still there. It's still that low, patient hum, but it's not as close as it was an hour ago. I can't explain that. Maybe the humming pulled back at the edge of the light. Maybe it's just moving on to somewhere else. Maybe it never moved at all and my ears have simply gotten used to it. The thing on the ceiling above me has been still for about 40 minutes. I can still hear it breathing, slow, wet, patient. Elena, 2 clicks, 2 clicks, good. The porch light is off. I want to tell the people in the western districts, the ones who still have power and water and clear windows, that I do not know when it will be safe for you to help. It may be tomorrow, it may be next week, it may be a very long time. When it is safe, help gently. Do not shout names into the dark. Do not run door to door calling for loved ones. The people who survived tonight survived by staying silent. Give them time to trust silence again. Give them time to know the difference between your voice and the voice that wore yours. Speak softly for a while, all of us, everywhere. Speak softly for a long while. The grey line at the edge of the sky is getting wider. I'm still here. Marco is still here. Elena is still here. The porch light is off. Someone is at the studio door, the outer one, the first of the 3. I can see the little red light on Marco's board flicker every time weight shifts on the other side of that door. I don't know how long they've been out there. Long enough for Marco to notice. He didn't tell me until now because he didn't want it in my voice. It's in my voice now. The person outside the door is talking, softly, steadily. I can hear them through the outer wall, filtered by 2 layers of soundproofing and a solid steel door. They sound like me. They are saying, "Daniel, it's okay, it's over. You can come out now, Marco, you too, it's over." They are not saying the phrase, "The porch light is off."
They are not saying the phrase. I want everyone listening to hear what I am about to do. I am going to do nothing. I am going to sit in this chair. I am going to keep this microphone on. I am not going to open the door. I am not going to answer the voice. I am not going to acknowledge that I hear it. Marco's not going to move either. He just nodded at me. He is not going anywhere. The voice on the other side of the door has started saying my daughter's name. I did not tell you about my daughter tonight. I never say her name on the air. I have a personal rule about that. 9 years. Never once. And the voice on the other side of the door is saying her name softly over and over in my own voice, as if she is standing next to it and I am comforting her. She is not there. She is in another city. She is safe. She has to be safe. I have to believe she is safe. The porch light is off. I am staying in this chair. I am not opening the door. Marco is not opening the door. We are still broadcasting. The sky is pale now, not blue, not yet, but pale. The grey has warmed at the edges. The voice at the door stopped about 20 minutes ago. It didn't leave, it just stopped talking. I can still hear it breathing, slow, wet, patient. Same rhythm as the thing on the ceiling. Same rhythm as the hum from the east. Same rhythm, I realize now, as every strange breath I've heard on every open line tonight. One rhythm wearing many faces. I don't know what it is. I don't have a name for it. I don't think it has a name for itself. I think it is something that learned over one long night how to sound like the people we love, and used what it learned to knock on every door in a city. Most doors held, some didn't. The ones that held are the reason there is still a signal on 17:20 a.m. this morning. The ones that held are why Elena is still clicking twice every few minutes. The ones that held are why Marco and I are still in this booth. The ones that held are the whole story. If you were one of the people who did not open the door tonight,
You did the hardest thing a human being can be asked to do. You heard someone you love beg to come inside and you did not answer. You will carry that for the rest of your life. It will feel like a wound, because it is one. It is also the reason you are alive. The porch light is off. You're listening to ZRB 1720. It's almost morning. I am still here. Stay with me. We're not done yet.